Elderly people who die suddenly all have this common trait. 6. Warning signs. If you're over 60, what I'm about to tell you could save your life. Every year, thousands of seemingly healthy seniors pass away without warning. One moment they're laughing with family, the next they're gone. No prolonged illness, no hospital stays, just sudden, unexpected death. Here's what's shocking. Medical researchers have discovered that nearly all of these cases share one disturbing trait that most people completely overlook. It's not about your cholesterol levels, it's not about your blood pressure readings, and it's not something your annual checkup typically catches. This trait silently develops over years, hiding in plain sight while your body sends out 6 specific warning signals that most seniors dismiss as normal aging. But here's the truth. If you recognize these signs early, you have the power to intervene. The difference between those who survive and those who don't often comes down to recognizing what your body is desperately trying to tell you before it's too late. In the next few minutes, you're going to discover information that could add years to your life. First, I'll reveal the common trait that links virtually all sudden deaths in people over 60, a condition so misunderstood that even some healthcare providers miss it until it's too late. Then, I'll walk you through 6 specific warning signs your body displays when this trait is present. These aren't vague symptoms you can ignore. They're concrete indicators that demand your attention right now. You'll learn exactly what to look for, from subtle changes in your daily routine to physical signals that appear weeks or even months before a crisis occurs. After that, I'll show you the immediate actions you need to take if you recognize any of these signs, including which medical tests to request and what questions to ask your doctor. Finally, you'll get proven prevention strategies backed by recent medical studies, simple lifestyle modifications that can dramatically reduce your risk starting today. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear action plan to protect yourself and your loved ones from becoming another tragic statistic. This isn't about living in fear. It's about living informed and taking control of your health destiny. Let me be direct with you. The information I'm sharing today comes from extensive medical research, including data from the American Heart Association, the National Institute on Aging, and multiple peer-reviewed studies conducted across major hospitals worldwide. This isn't speculation or internet rumors. This is hard science that could determine whether you're here for your grandchildren's graduations or not. Here's why this matters so urgently for anyone over 60. Your body at this stage of life operates differently than it did at 40 or 50. Systems that once compensated for problems automatically now struggle to keep up. The safety margins you once had have narrowed considerably. What your body could shake off a decade ago might now trigger a cascade of events that medical teams can't reverse. Understanding what I'm about to share isn't optional if you value your life. The survival rate for those who recognize these signs early versus those who don't is dramatically different. Knowledge truly is the difference between life and death here, and you deserve to have this information in clear, understandable terms that you can act on immediately. After analyzing thousands of cases, medical researchers identified the common thread: silent inflammation throughout the cardiovascular system. This isn't the inflammation you feel when you twist your ankle or get a sore throat. This is chronic systemic inflammation that attacks your blood vessels from the inside, weakening arterial walls and creating conditions for catastrophic failure without any obvious symptoms. Your arteries are supposed to be smooth and flexible, like new garden hoses. But silent inflammation makes them stiff, brittle, and covered with unstable plaque deposits that can rupture without warning. When these plaques break apart, they trigger massive clots that block blood flow to your heart or brain in seconds. No chest pain beforehand, no gradual decline, just sudden cardiac arrest or massive stroke. What makes this particularly dangerous for seniors is that traditional risk factors like high cholesterol or elevated blood pressure don't always reveal this hidden inflammation. You can have perfect numbers on your standard blood work and still be walking around with severely inflamed arteries. The inflammation operates below conventional testing, which is why so many people pass their annual physicals weeks before a crisis occurs. Warning sign. 1. The first warning sign is unexplained extreme fatigue that hits you like a wall. I'm not talking about feeling tired after a busy day or needing an afternoon nap. This is profound exhaustion that makes simple tasks feel overwhelming. You wake up already drained despite sleeping through the night. Walking to your mailbox leaves you needing to sit down. Your arms feel heavy lifting a coffee cup. This happens because your inflamed cardiovascular system cannot deliver adequate oxygen and nutrients to your tissues. Your heart is working harder just to maintain basic function, burning through your energy reserves before you even start your day. Many seniors dismiss this as normal aging or blame it on poor sleep quality. They cut back on activities, stop seeing friends, and gradually shrink their world to match their diminishing energy. But this isn't aging. It's your cardiovascular system failing in slow motion. Your body is screaming that it cannot sustain current demands, that critical systems are breaking down, that intervention is urgently needed. The medical explanation is straightforward but serious. When inflammation damages your blood vessels, your heart must pump harder to push blood through narrowed, stiffened arteries. This increased workload depletes your cardiac reserves rapidly. Meanwhile, reduced blood flow means your muscles, brain and organs aren't getting the fuel they need. What you're experiencing isn't weakness of character or laziness, it's cardiac compromise. Your heart is sending an urgent message that it's struggling to keep you alive. Every day you ignore this fatigue, the inflammation progresses further. The arterial damage deepens. The risk of sudden rupture increases exponentially. If you're experiencing this level of exhaustion right now, you need to document it. Write down when it started, how severe it feels on a scale of 1 to 10. What activities trigger it, and whether anything provides relief. This information is critical for your doctor because vague complaints of tiredness often get dismissed, but detailed documentation of debilitating fatigue prompts serious investigation. Your life may depend on how seriously you take this first warning sign. Warning sign 2. The second warning sign is persistent digestive disturbances that seem to come from nowhere. Your stomach feels unsettled constantly. You experience nausea that has nothing to do with what you ate. You might feel bloated, have unexplained indigestion, or notice a gnawing discomfort in your upper abdomen that antacids don't touch. Some seniors describe it as a queasy feeling that lingers throughout the day, making food unappealing even when they haven't eaten anything problematic. Here's why this happens and why it's so dangerous. When your cardiovascular system is inflamed and struggling, blood gets redirected away from your digestive organs to prioritize vital functions like keeping your brain and heart supplied. Your stomach, intestines and liver receive reduced blood flow, which disrupts their normal functioning. The result is a cascade of digestive problems that have nothing to do with diet or food sensitivities. What makes this particularly concerning is that many people, including some doctors, mistake these symptoms for acid reflux, irritable bowel syndrome, or simple stomach upset. They start taking over-the-counter medications, change their diet, avoid spicy foods, and assume the problem is gastrointestinal when it's actually cardiovascular. Meanwhile, the real issue continues deteriorating unchecked. Women especially need to pay attention to this sign because digestive distress is one of the primary ways heart problems manifest in females over 60. While men typically experience classic chest pain during cardiac events, women often present with nausea, stomach discomfort, and indigestion. Dismissing these symptoms as stomach trouble has cost countless women their lives, when the real culprit was an inflamed, failing heart struggling to maintain adequate circulation. The connection between your gut and your heart is direct and measurable. When cardiac output drops due to inflammation and arterial stiffness, your digestive system essentially goes into survival mode. Enzyme production slows down, stomach acid regulation becomes erratic. The muscular contractions that move food through your intestines lose their coordination. Don't fall into the trap of treating symptoms without investigating causes. If you've been managing ongoing digestive issues with medications for weeks without improvement, you need comprehensive cardiovascular testing immediately. A simple ECG, cardiac enzyme blood test, and inflammatory markers can reveal whether your stomach problems are actually heart problems in disguise. Warning sign. 3. The third warning sign is sudden changes in your sleep patterns, specifically waking up gasping for air or needing to sleep propped up on multiple pillows. You might find yourself jolting awake in the middle of the night, feeling like you can't catch your breath. Or you discover that lying flat makes you feel suffocated, forcing you to stack 3 or 4 pillows just to breathe comfortably. Some people end up sleeping in recliners because their bed has become impossible to tolerate. This phenomenon has a medical name: orthopnea and paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea. What's happening is fluid backup in your lungs due to your heart's weakening ability to pump efficiently. When you lie flat, gravity no longer helps drain fluid from your lung tissue. The accumulated fluid presses against your air sacs, making breathing difficult and triggering that terrifying sensation of drowning while lying in your own bed. The gasping awakenings are even more alarming. You're sleeping soundly, then suddenly you're bolt upright, heart racing, desperately gulping air. This happens because fluid has slowly filled your lungs during deep sleep when your breathing naturally slows down. Your oxygen levels drop dangerously low until your body triggers an emergency arousal response to force you awake and breathing deeply again. Many seniors rationalize this away. They blame their mattress, say they've always been light sleepers, or attribute it to anxiety or bad dreams. But your body doesn't randomly develop an inability to breathe while lying down. This is a mechanical problem caused by your heart's failure to move blood efficiently through your system, resulting in dangerous fluid accumulation in your pulmonary tissue. Pay attention to related symptoms that occur alongside these sleep disturbances. Do your ankles swell during the day? Is there a persistent cough that produces frothy or pink-tinged mucus? Do you hear wheezing or crackling sounds when you breathe deeply? These additional signs confirm that fluid is backing up throughout your system, not just in your lungs. The urgency cannot be overstated. fluid in your lungs means your heart is losing the battle against inflammation and arterial damage. Each episode where you wake gasping represents a moment when your oxygen levels dropped to dangerous territories. Your brain, kidneys and other organs are being damaged by repeated oxygen deprivation. This warning sign is your body's desperate plea for immediate medical intervention before complete heart failure occurs. If you're experiencing this right now, you need to see a cardiologist this week, not next month. Warning sign. The fourth warning sign is unexplained dizziness or lightheadedness that occurs when you stand up or change positions quickly. You get out of bed in the morning and the room spins. You stand up from your chair and suddenly feel like you might faint. You bend down to pick something up, and when you straighten, everything goes grey for a few seconds. Some people describe it as feeling disconnected from their body, like they're floating or about to collapse. This isn't just an inconvenience or a minor annoyance. What you're experiencing is inadequate blood flow reaching your brain because your inflamed cardiovascular system cannot adjust quickly enough to position changes. Your blood pressure regulation has become compromised. When you stand, gravity pulls blood toward your legs, and normally your body compensates instantly by constricting blood vessels and increasing heart rate to maintain steady brain perfusion. But when inflammation has stiffened your arteries and weakened your heart's responsiveness, that compensation fails. Your brain gets temporarily starved of oxygen, producing dizziness, vision changes, and near-fainting episodes. The real-world implications of this warning sign are devastating. Every year, thousands of seniors fall because of these dizzy spells, fracturing hips, hitting their heads, or sustaining injuries that lead to hospitalization and rapid decline. But here's what most people don't realize. The fall isn't the problem. The fall is a symptom of the cardiovascular crisis that caused the dizziness in the first place. Treating the injury while ignoring the underlying cardiac issue means you're addressing the consequence while the cause continues destroying your system. Beyond fall risk, these episodes indicate that your brain is experiencing repeated mini-deprivations of oxygen. Each time you feel dizzy, your neurons are being damaged by inadequate blood supply. Over time, this contributes to cognitive decline, memory problems, and increased dementia risk. Your brain needs constant, steady blood flow to function properly. When inflammation disrupts that flow, your mental capabilities suffer alongside your physical stability. Some people notice their dizziness worsens in hot weather, after meals, or when dehydrated. These patterns reveal that your cardiovascular system has lost its reserve capacity. It can barely maintain function under normal conditions and completely fails when any additional stress is added. Your body is operating on the thinnest possible margin, and any extra demand pushes it over the edge into dangerous territory. Don't make the mistake of thinking you can manage this by moving more slowly or being more careful. The dizziness is telling you that insufficient blood is reaching your brain. That insufficient blood flow is caused by inflamed, damaged blood vessels that cannot respond appropriately to your body's demands. Moving slowly doesn't fix inflammation. Being careful doesn't repair arterial damage. You need medical evaluation, including blood pressure monitoring in multiple positions, cardiac imaging, and inflammatory marker testing to determine how severe the damage has become before you experience a catastrophic event that no amount of caution can prevent. Warning sign number 5. The fifth warning sign is unusual, sweating that occurs without physical exertion or heat exposure. You break into cold sweats while sitting calmly on your couch. You wake up drenched in perspiration even though your bedroom is cool. You feel clammy moisture on your skin during ordinary activities that never made you sweat before. This isn't hot flashes or temperature regulation issues. This is your body's stress response activating because your cardiovascular system is in crisis. When inflammation severely compromises your heart's ability to pump blood effectively, your nervous system interprets this as a life-threatening emergency. It floods your body with stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, triggering the fight-or-flight response. One prominent feature of this response is profuse sweating, particularly cold, clammy sweat that appears on your forehead, palms, neck and chest. Your body is literally panicking at a chemical level because it detects that critical systems are failing. What makes this particularly important is the type and timing of the sweating. If you're sweating during rest, especially at night, your heart is working exponentially harder than it should be just to maintain basic function. Your cardiac muscle is straining against inflamed, rigid arteries, burning excessive energy and generating metabolic byproducts that trigger your body's alarm systems. The sweat is your body's visible sign of invisible internal struggle. Women need to understand that sudden, unexplained sweating is one of the most commonly missed warning signs before heart attacks in females over 60. It gets dismissed as menopause-related or anxiety when it's actually your cardiovascular system screaming for help. Men experience this too, but they're more likely to recognize it as abnormal because they don't have hormonal changes to blame it on. Pay special attention to sweating that occurs during emotional stress or mild physical activity. If climbing one flight of stairs leaves you drenched, or if an argument with a family member triggers cold sweats, your heart cannot handle even minor increases in demand. This reveals that your cardiovascular reserve has been completely depleted by chronic inflammation. You're operating at maximum capacity just to stay alive, with nothing left for life's normal challenges. The preventive power of recognizing this sign early cannot be overstated. Unexplained sweating typically appears weeks or even months before sudden cardiac death occurs. This gives you a window of opportunity to seek testing, receive treatment, and reverse the inflammatory damage before it becomes irreversible. Anti-inflammatory medications, lifestyle modifications, and targeted cardiac interventions can dramatically reduce your risk, but only if you act on this warning instead of explaining it away. Your body is giving you advance notice that disaster is approaching. Whether you survive depends entirely on whether you listen and respond with the urgency this sign deserves. Warning sign number 6. The sixth warning sign is sudden cognitive changes, brain fog, confusion, memory lapses, and difficulty concentrating that appear seemingly overnight. You walk into a room and completely forget why you're there, not occasionally, but multiple times daily. You struggle to follow conversations you would have easily tracked before. You find yourself repeating questions, losing your train of thought mid-sentence, or unable to remember names of people you've known for years. Decision-making becomes overwhelming, even for simple choices like what to eat for dinner. This happens because your brain is receiving insufficient oxygen due to reduced blood flow from your inflamed, constricted arteries. Your brain consumes roughly 20% of your body's oxygen supply, despite being only 2% of your body weight. When cardiovascular inflammation limits circulation, your brain is among the first organs to show symptoms of oxygen deprivation. The neurons responsible for memory formation, processing speed, and executive function begin misfiring or shutting down entirely to conserve the limited oxygen available. The urgent attention markers you need to watch for are these. Does the confusion come in waves, better some days and worse others? Do Do you notice it's particularly bad after physical exertion or stress? Does it improve after rest? These patterns indicate vascular causes rather than degenerative brain diseases. Dementia typically progresses steadily and predictably. Vascular cognitive impairment fluctuates based on how well your compromised cardiovascular system is functioning at any given moment. Another critical marker is the speed of onset. If your memory and thinking abilities have noticeably declined over weeks or a few months rather than years, this points to vascular problems rather than neurodegenerative disease. Your family members often notice these changes before you do because the affected person loses insight into their own cognitive function. If loved ones express concern about your memory or decision-making, take their observations seriously rather than defensively dismissing them. Watch for accompanying physical symptoms that confirm cardiovascular involvement. Do you experience the cognitive fog alongside chest tightness, shortness of breath, or irregular heartbeat? Does mental confusion coincide with visual disturbances like seeing spots or temporary vision loss? These combinations prove your brain's struggles are linked to inadequate blood supply, not isolated neurological disease. If you're experiencing these cognitive changes right now, you need comprehensive evaluation immediately, including carotid artery ultrasound to check blood flow to your brain, cardiac imaging to assess heart function, and inflammatory marker testing. Don't let anyone tell you this is normal aging or that nothing can be done. Your cognitive symptoms are reversible if treated promptly, but permanent brain damage is inevitable if the underlying cardiovascular inflammation continues unchecked. The next few weeks will determine whether you recover your mental clarity or lose it forever. If you recognize any of these warning signs, here's your immediate action plan. First, schedule an appointment with your doctor within 48 hours, not next month, this week. Be direct about your symptoms and specifically request cardiovascular testing, including an ECG, echocardiogram, and blood work for inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein and homocysteine levels. Don't accept vague reassurances without actual testing. Second, start documenting everything today. Create a symptom journal, noting when each warning sign occurs, its severity, duration, and any triggering factors. This concrete evidence prevents your concerns from being dismissed as anxiety or normal aging. Third, if you experience multiple warning signs simultaneously, especially sweating with chest discomfort, severe breathlessness, or sudden confusion, call emergency services immediately. Don't drive yourself to the hospital. Don't wait to see if it passes. These combinations indicate your cardiovascular system is in acute crisis. Fourth, inform a trusted family member or friend about what you're experiencing. Give them permission to advocate for you if medical professionals aren't taking your symptoms seriously. Sometimes having another person present ensures you receive appropriate urgent care rather than being sent home without proper evaluation. Movement is non-negotiable, but it doesn't mean intense exercise. 30 minutes of walking daily improves circulation and reduces inflammatory markers significantly. Even breaking this into 3 10-minute sessions provides cardiovascular benefits. The key is consistency, not intensity. Stress management directly impacts inflammation levels. Chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated, which damages arterial walls. Practice deep breathing exercises for 5 minutes twice daily. Consider meditation, gentle yoga, or activities that genuinely relax you. Your mental state directly affects your physical inflammation levels. Sleep quality matters tremendously. Aim for 7 to 8 hours nightly in a cool, dark room. Poor sleep amplifies inflammation and prevents your body from repairing daily arterial damage. You now understand what connects sudden deaths in seniors over 60. Silent cardiovascular inflammation that operates beneath the surface of standard health screenings. You've learned the 6 warning signs your body displays when this deadly process is active. From crushing fatigue and digestive disturbances to breathing problems, dizziness, unexplained sweating, and cognitive changes. More importantly, you know exactly what actions to take right now to protect yourself. This information could save your life or the life of someone you love. If this video opened your eyes to symptoms you've been ignoring, hit that like button and share it immediately with friends and family who need to see this. Your share might be the difference between someone recognizing their warning signs in time or becoming another tragic statistic. Subscribe to our channel because we're committed to bringing you life-saving health information specifically designed for seniors. Don't leave your health to chance when knowledge this powerful is available. Take action today. Your future depends on the decisions you make right now based on what you've learned here.